I mean, you make your own decisions, but like letting people bet on sports on your phone. Here's the problem with that. You have to come, if you wanted to gamble, when they put the sports book in the casino, you had to leave your house, get in your car, drive there, get cash out of the ATM or go to the bank, make your bet. You have a lot of time to change your mind. Not when you're online. Oh my God, look at that line right there. -3.
Done.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. And that wasn't good for Pennsylvania. And the roads are still shit.
Mm-hmm.
The roads are still
Absolutely.
shit. Oh, can't do anything. Where's the tax money going? You know?
It's it's summer, construction season.
Oh my God.
Starting already.
And they did construction on the Cross Valley all year last year. I don't even know what they did.
Yeah.
They're trying to repair that bridge. They're going to shut it down one of these days.
We drove home from Hazelton last night, and the stretch, as soon as you get on in Dorrance to New Angola, down the one lane, and you're like, oh, God.
You should have started throwing pretzels at people. Get them out of the way.
That's it.
They're so buttery that the cars would just fly out of the way. All right. You guys ready to rock and roll?
Absolutely.
All right, let's get it. Looking for the perfect grooming experience for your pup? Welcome to Carley's Fairy Tale Dog Grooming, located at 8 North Main Street in Pittston. We offer boutique-style grooming with a focus on quality over quantity. Your furry friend will enjoy a cage-free, stress-free environment where they will feel comfortable and pampered. At Carley's, we make sure every dog leaves feeling and looking like royalty. Call 541-410-9582 or stop in today to book your appointment at Carley's Fairy Tale Dog Grooming. Genoa Wholesale Foods, supplying quality since 1947. For over 75 years, Genoa Wholesale Foods has been your trusted partner for premium food supplies. Specializing in services to pizzerias, Genoa also caters to restaurants, bakeries, delis, and bars throughout northeastern Pennsylvania. They proudly offer a blend of both private label and national brands, helping you find the perfect products to meet your restaurant needs. With local deliveries and the care of a family-owned business, they are committed to making your success their priority. Choose Genoa Wholesale Foods for reliable, top-quality restaurant supplies that keep your business running smoothly. Genoa Wholesale Foods, locally owned and operated for 3 generations. Call Genoa today at 570-823-6142 or visit them online at www.genoafoods.com. Welcome to Food Fight. I'm your host, Brian DiMattei, and we have a #delicious episode coming today. We have owners of some of the local Auntie Anne's pretzels all over the place, Cinnabon. We have Planet Smoothie. The table is full of goodies. I'm here today with Tiziana and Joe Mazzarella from Exeter, Pennsylvania.
We live in Pittston. I grew up in Exeter.
Okay, yep. You grew up in Exeter, live in Pittston.
Yes.
Welcome to the Food Fight podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I appreciate you guys coming on here and bringing a whole bunch of food.
Hope you enjoy it.
I've already was. You're gonna get one of that little well done hot dog one. I was like, no. I'll bring it right over here. I'll eat it. I've been doing. Me and my buddy Mike have been doing our Texas wiener tours.
Okay.
Around the area. We're 13 or 14 in. Our last one we did was the Sheets Texas wieners right here on the Food Fight podcast a few weeks ago. Why I'm bringing that up is because we've been doing our Foods of Pennsylvania episodes, and we're 3 of them in, and it's just there's so many Pennsylvania grown products and businesses. It's just we could do unlimited episodes, and Auntie Anne's happens to be one of those.
Yeah, absolutely. Start in Lancaster, PA.
From what I understand, they said Downingtown.
Correct. Farmers market.
So the farmers, that was the origins.
Correct.
And then the first business was, you said, in Lancaster? The actual business.
So Anne herself started at a farmer's market in Downingtown.
It was for a free clinic they were doing or something like that, I read?
They wanted to start a clinic for counseling, for counseling. And the only way to do it was like, okay, well, we need money for it. So they started with this farmer's market. And it started with pizza, actually. And it didn't go well. So it had pizza and pretzels.
How didn't pizza go well?
The pretzels outsold the pizza, so then they focused on the pretzels.
We are in pretzel country.
And then they just kind of kept going with it. And then from there, the first mall location was at the Park City Mall in Lancaster. And then they put their headquarters in Gap, which is outside of Lancaster.
Okay.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then 1,200 stores I think believe is the number right about now.
Right. And then she retired in, do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
She sold the company.
Quite a while ago.
And still around, kind of like still a figurehead.
Yeah.
She's a great lady. We just saw her last year. And now it's owned by a conglomerate out of Atlanta.
Okay. Caring for other people's through pretzels.
Yeah.
That's still the same logo?
Excuse
me, slogan?
You give to get to give again.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like
That's
that.
what she believed in.
I'm a big believer in that, giving back to the community. I was just telling you guys how I teach kids and adults Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And in a way, that's my way of giving back to the community, especially when the kids are one thing. You guys have children?
Yes,
Grown?
2 girls, 27 and 24.
Okay. It's important to protect our kids, and if there's one way to do that, it's through teaching them self-defense. But it's more than that. It's about building their confidence. And when their confidence is up, their discipline falls into place too. Because a lot of kids will do, and adults, they'll cause trouble, including myself. You're bored, you got something to prove or just something to do, and you lash out, and then you have to be corrected. And certain behaviors could be corrected. I am admiring your shirt. I'm staring right at it. It looks fantastic. Is there any way maybe I could get one of those?
Absolutely.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Look at that thing. That was great. Cinnabon, dead center in there. I love it. Absolutely love it. So you guys own 4 Auntie pretzels in the area, right? Where are those locations?
So we have Viewmont Mall, Dixon City, Wilkes-Barre, Wyoming Valley Mall, Wilkes-Barre Walmart.
Okay.
And then we have one in the Bryce Jordan Center at Penn State.
Nice. I bet that's your pride and joy. You're
It's
big Penn State fans, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Live and breathe blue and white.
Okay. Let me tell you why I don't like Penn State football.
Okay.
All right. You ready for the story?
I'm good.
You familiar with Old Forge, Pennsylvania?
Absolutely.
That's where I grew up. Remember, you ever hear of a bar? It's not there anymore. GI's Bar?
No.
All right. So GI's Bar was right off I grew up on George Street and Mary Street. It was right in the corner. It was the corner local bar. And my friend's family owned it. So we'd always hang out down the street. And, it's the 80s. You could run around. You go in the bar, out the back door, breaking balls. You got guys in there drinking at 2 in the afternoon on a Tuesday. You go in there and you're busting balls and all that kind of stuff. And I remember every single time we go in there, you kids driving us crazy. But remember, this is the Pitt Panther bar, not a Penn State bar.
Wow.
You will not like Penn State. You will not like Penn State. So it's funny because my father was a Phillies fan and an Eagles fan. So I'm an Eagles fan. I'm no longer a Major League Baseball fan after the Astros cheated to win a World. I just can't watch it anymore. I can't take it serious anymore, which is unfortunate because the Phillies had a couple good years. They have a great team now. Anyways, my father was never a college football fan, so I never had any allegiance. So I just grew up. I had to. It's in my bones to root against Penn State football. I can't help
Pitt
it.
and Penn State.
I mean, I'm a Pitt fan, but I don't really care if they win or lose either. I just like watching college football. Right. However, one of my top 10 experiences is being in Beaver Stadium with 110,000 people, and this stadium is shaking.
Yep.
It's quite I can't imagine that happens anywhere else. That's quite an experience. It's quite an experience, especially when it's a whiteout game.
At night, after everyone's had a little bit too much. Yeah, just to say.
I bet it's amazing.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun.
Man, oh man. What was the, oh, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, growing up here, I can't say even, I was a huge college football fan, more Pittsburgh Steeler NFL at the time. But then when we went to Penn State, our freshman year there, Penn State won the national championship. And it was like, oh, okay, drank the Kool-Aid. And then from then on, that was it.
What year was that?
86.
That was the last time too, right?
Correct. Yeah.
They got, listen, I got to be honest, as a football fan, they got robbed that one year when Kerry Collins was the quarterback. 94. That was a great team.
Times, yeah.
Absolutely.
So was it a shared?
No.
Did one organization declare Ohio State champions and then Penn State? Was it Ohio State?
Wait, 94?
I forget the other team. Who was the one that won it?
Nebraska.
Oh, they had some good teams that year. Yeah. Did one organization declared Nebraska champions, another one Penn State, or was it just straight Nebraska?
I think it was straight Nebraska, but I think they had the AP and the UPI did Nebraska, and then the USA Today poll was Penn State.
There could have been an easy way to solve that.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're going to play a game in 2 weeks.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Could you imagine?
Right.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. At least they
what kind of money that would have made?
Oh man. I don't know why they didn't do it. I don't know why they didn't do it. I mean, I know why they didn't do it. They couldn't because they need time to get organizers and sponsors. It's all about that money, you know?
Yep.
What do you guys think about Sanders, Deion Sanders' son? What's his name? Shakir? I can't pronounce his first name. Shador.
Yeah.
What do you think about him?
I'm not a fan. I wish him luck, but I just don't see it.
You think the chaos surrounding him not getting drafted was fair, or was it overblown?
Again, I think a little bit of both. I didn't particularly see him as a great quarterback, and I'm not an analyst by any means.
Attitude is everything in sports,
right? And so, like, did folks find that much wrong with everything that they're like, okay, well, we'll just wait and see what happens and kind of go from there. Yeah. We'll take the safe bet, and if he's still around later, then we'll take the chance. I mean, Cleveland Browns have 5 quarterbacks now?
Yeah, they're fighting for their jobs over there.
Yeah,
they're gonna either have Joe Falco, or. But I do love football though. Go Birds! Go Birds!
Saquon,
big Eagle fan. Yeah, they just Pat's or Geno's in Philadelphia just renamed their cheesesteak place after Shakir for the week because he was on the Madden cover.
Oh.
So I'm not happy about that. I'm not happy about him, the best running back in the game, being on the Madden cover. You know about the Madden curse? You know about the Madden curse?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Madden curse, there's the game every year, John Madden football. Mm-hmm. And a majority of people that were on the cover have gone on to either get hurt for this next season or career.
Yeah,
knock out of wood.
Yeah, absolutely.
Knock out of wood. All right, that was our first detour of the day. All right. I did have one more Penn State question.
Sure, go ahead.
What was the best game you ever went to? Best Penn State game you ever went to?
Well, I probably left early. Yeah. if that was the case. I would get so nervous that I would just be like, if I thought they were going to lose, I'd be like, oh,
I gotta go.
But then I'd sit and listen to it in the parking lot.
That's fair.
So,
do I get 2 choices?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so Penn State, Miami, at Miami.
Oh, I was there. I stayed for that one.
Sweltering heat.
You had me at Miami.
In the old Orange Bowl.
I can picture the Orange Bowl.
The dump of the stadium it was.
Yep.
Penn State's winning all game. Second half, Miami starts coming back. And we're sitting, and you could drink in the Orange Bowl. So everybody around us are Miami fans, and they've had a little too much. So in the second half, they're busting chops strictly to us because we're wearing our Penn State gear. And then finally, last play of the game, we win on like a 90-yard pass play.
That was good.
And it's just like we start going nuts. I'm obviously going crazy at the guys who were busting my balls for the last half.
Yeah.
And like my brother literally had to pull me away from the guy because I was just like, that's it.
In his face.
I can picture it.
Yeah,
that's good shit.
So that was fun. And
did you walk out of there alive?
Yeah, pretty good.
You do a fight?
I think they were so drunk that they could barely. But
no, they
could have gone really wrong.
Yeah, there were a lot of people busting chops. Though.
Yeah, for sure.
What
was game number 2?
2 had to be Penn State, Ohio State. Penn State blocks the field goal, returns it for a touchdown. Our daughter was a student at the time, and I'm sitting here thinking, dear God, when the students rushed the field after the game, I'm like, I hope to God you're in that, because to actually do that is fun. I did it when I was a senior at Penn State. No, I was a freshman at Penn State when Penn State beat Pitt. Last game of the season to went on to the national championship.
Nice.
Ripped down the goalpost. Great time.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I used to go with my friends and his father. They used to get great seats for Penn State. Be down between the 40-yard lines all the way down. We saw Randall Elder one day.
Okay.
A few other guys playing. But the game that sticks out the most for me was Halloween weekend. Penn State versus Ohio State. We had pretty decent seats. I used to drink back then. I drank a lot. Penn State was winning up until the last
sounds familiar.
Up until the last couple minutes of the game, and there might have been a bad call penalty wise, but I don't remember. But I do remember there was a girl behind me with a cowbell all game long, and she would just be ringing it, right? Well, Ohio State came back and won the game. I stood up, grabbed the cowbell out of her hand, started ringing it. Somehow I didn't get pushed over. But I made it out of there. But I walked around with my Ohio State stuff on the whole night in Penn State, and I survived. But a lot of people were giving me some stares. But my friend liked watching the Penn State guys run out of their locker room. Mm-hmm. So we went underneath. I'm standing there with him, and we're watching them run out. And all of a sudden, this one big linebacker, he ran past me, stopped, came back, looked at me. He goes, "You got a lot of balls wearing that shirt here." I was like, "Yeah, I do." I do love football, though. Football's a lot of fun.
College football's great.
Yeah, football's a lot
unfortunately, right now, NIL's just kind of ruining it.
What is that?
NIL?
Is that where they're paying the players, right?
Yeah, right. So it's becoming free agency. I don't know, just not my thing.
A lot of teams, a lot of players jumping around at bigger schools
Absolutely.
to get bigger.
The transfer
bigger
portal's
money.
different too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did that just start last year?
No, it's been going on a few.
Yeah.
And I want to say this week Congress passed something now, and I didn't get to quite read everything, but less rules now, or more clarification, put it that way.
Yeah. So we'll see where that goes, See where that goes. Speaking of seeing where that goes, you got into the pretzel business on accident.
Yes.
Was it her fault?
Yep.
Let's hear about it.
Sure.
Please.
So, you want the long story or the short version?
Whatever you got, Joe. Whatever you got, bro.
All right. So, we both went to Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know one another. We were in one of those classes, like freshmen, 350 people in the place.
Holy shit. Yeah. I went to Penn State at Worthington, so I didn't experience the gigantic schools. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. So, right, we were both in the same class. Never got to meet her. 4 years later, homecoming after we both graduate, I see her, recognized her from back when.
You noticed her in class?
Yeah, she came in late all the time. So that's how I knew her.
That's the reason.
Is that why you didn't ask her out, because she was tardy?
No, I just remembered her as a really hot-looking girl that came in all the time.
Okay.
So went up to her, started talking to her. We were both living in Northern Virginia at the time. She proceeds to tell me, "Yeah, I'm moving next week."
Mm-hmm.
Moving next week. Oh, where are you moving to? Moving to Wilkes-Barre. I'm like, shut up. I grew up in Wilkes-Barre. Nobody moves to Wilkes-Barre. She goes, "Yeah, my family's opening up a place at the Wyoming Valley Mall." I'm like, "Wyoming Valley Mall? Man, I grew up there. Like, what are you opening at the Wyoming Valley Mall?" "Oh, Annie Ann's Pretzels." Okay, so this is 91.
90.
You already beat me to that question.
Yep.
91. The mall was bumping.
Yes.
That was prime mall. There was, Dean was in the mall. You know Angelo Recchi, his family?
Yeah.
He owned both. His father owned, at one time, the Dino's in the food court.
Yep.
And the Dino's where it is now.
Mm-hmm.
He owned both of them.
Right.
How smart was that? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
So I'd never heard of Annie Ann's because back in 91, it's 2 years old. So I'm like, oh, okay. So we continued long distance. I stayed in Virginia, and then they opened up a bunch, 5 more. We opened 5 more, and then I kind of joined in on number 2 through number 5, and then 5 years later we said, you know what? After running 5 for her sister, we bought our first one. So we ended up buying the Wyoming Valley Mall. But we opened up Laurel Mall, Schuylkill Mall, Viewmont Mall, the Stroud Mall, and the Steamtown Mall.
The Viewmont Mall is doing well.
Quite. Yeah, it still is.
You guys still own the Steamtown Mall one?
No, sold out years ago
So
and have Viewmont.
Was just up at the Steamtown Mall. We were there for a birthday party at Bee's backyard.
Okay.
Oh, okay. It's like a bounce house place?
It's a little bounce house place.
Yeah.
I understand that it's definitely better for the little kids, because I've been there, and I've been to the what's the big trampoline park, the Nova.
Oh, no.
Oh, in
Yeah.
Wyoming. Yeah.
How they clean that? They got to go around with. There's got to be like they got to clean it with steam. I mean, it seems like there's ringworm everywhere in that place.
I haven't been in there.
But it seemed like it was a really nice little birthday place. The kids seemed to be having some fun. The pizza was terrible. They made it there. That wasn't that good. But I did see Annie Ann's there.
Ann's is still there.
Stores are super clean.
Yeah.
They got a huge makeover maybe a little while back.
I haven't been in the Steamtown Mall, but Annie Ann's is really pushing, like, you have to remodel so many number of years.
Okay.
And so, like, I'm assuming he did.
Mm-hmm. It looks really nice.
So
the one I go to the Walmart in Wilkes-Barre sometimes. Yep. That store is very nice too. The staff's very nice. That's one of yours.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's a really nice place. What is if I wanted to open up an Annie Ann's Pretzels in the corner of the studio over here, right, for Brian specifically, all right, what would be the process of opening a franchise of Annie Ann's Pretzels?
All right. So you'd have to go through the application. They'd have to preview. They'd have to prove the site. And then once all that was done, then you're looking at your numbers of build out and equipment and all that fun stuff.
How much does Auntie Anne's itself help a person that wants to open up a store? Or is it all would it all be on me financially?
Financially, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's guidance like if you're brand new at it, they're going to tell you where you have to buy. If you're brand new, they're going to give you like design help. Whereas like, if we went to open up a new store now, I kind of would have an idea where I want to place things operationally.
Okay.
Just for having done it. And I might be able to get away with buying some equipment other than from them because I've kind of done it and may have connections.
Okay, I know what you're saying.
So,
like their first store, you got to follow to the T.
Yeah.
They want to make sure that you're
right.
presenting their product in a good way, right?
Correct.
So you guys also own a Cinnabon.
Correct.
I asked you earlier when the show started. I go, what's it like owning a Cinnabon? It sounds fantastic.
Smell it so much.
Yeah, you could. I mean, that's the thing too with that. Not both of them. When you walk by, you're going to smell it. This maybe a little more. You'll smell the cinnamon. It's different because again, as I said to you before, like with pretzels, while there is the process of having the dough rise, if I had to, I could always take it and use it beforehand. I'm not going to get the amount of product I should, but if I fall behind, boom, I do it. And yeah, you have some sore shoulders later, but whatever. Cinnabon's like a bakery. So you have to let everything rise appropriate amount of time. Can't take it beforehand. It's not going to look right, taste right, be right. So
there's no way to shortcut.
There's no way to shortcut. And it's an indulgent item that is not something like the pretzel you can kind of eat literally all the time. Not that you can't eat this all the time, but it's more indulgent than that.
I know personally for me, every time I walk by a Cinnabon, I say, oh, Cinnabon.
Yeah.
It just comes out every time. Yeah. I probably have the same nostalgia with Auntie Anne's pretzels. I can just taste that, the butter on the pretzels. It's just quite, it's absolutely amazing. I can't get enough of it. I don't remember my first one, but I remember my first Auntie Anne's pretzels, but I definitely remember eating the pretzels with the pepperoni on there.
That's relatively new. I mean, in the scheme of things.
When Auntie Anne's first started, which I'm surprised it was only in like 1988 or 1990. I thought it was going to be like a lot older company than that. Right. I just think of it that way. Yeah. When it started, was it just the pretzels?
Yes.
Just a plain buttery pretzels?
No. So it was just a pretzel form. You didn't have anything other than like a pretzel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't nuggets, wasn't sticks, nothing, just pretzels. But the flavors are original cinnamon, poppy seed, and sesame seed, sour cream, and onion, and garlic.
Sesame seed.
Yeah.
Never had a sesame seed one. They still make those?
Delicious.
No.
Sometimes keep a little
This
stash.
is it right here.
So what's left over now from those original flavors, original cinnamon.
Okay, so we got the cinnamon and sugar is just
to die for.
It's fucking outrageous.
Yeah.
We got the little hot dogs.
Yep.
Is there a name for these?
Mini dogs. And it's
mini
just
dogs.
Nathan's all beef hot dog with Auntie Anne's pretzel dough.
When did they come out? I forgot. It's been a few years.
5-ish years, 7-ish years.
You know what would be good with these? Put these in a bowl, heat them up, put some chili sauce on top.
Ooh, okay.
There you go. That's another. Recommend that.
That would be good. That would be good.
Cinnamon sugar is still my favorite. I could still down one of those, even if they sit for a while. They're great coming out of the oven. Everything's great coming out of the oven, but cinnamon sugar, I could eat it like hours later.
You guys ever think about doing like, Krispy Kreme does the hot sign? Hot sign for the pretzels?
That's not something I'm allowed to.
Because they should always be hot.
Yeah.
I mean,
enough.
It's not like it should ever.
We're only allowed, there's a 30-minute window that we're only allowed to keep.
Yeah, there's a lot of waste.
So
there's a lot.
Eventually.
So let's talk about that.
Okay.
I know, Joe, you mentioned that you want to focus more on catering. I told Brian that when we first got here. What was your reaction, Brian?
I'm for it.
Oh, if you told me I was coming to, I told you last night in that text message, I wasn't bullshitting you. If I knew I was going to a party, hey, Brian, we've got a party going on today. You want to come do some food fight stuff? I'm like, yeah, what do you got going on there? Auntie Anne's is catering it. Let me grab my fucking microphone because I'll be there. The idea, you got the nostalgia alone.
Right.
This whole area has nostalgia for Auntie Anne's pretzels, right? Then think about this too. Like a lot of people are saying, oh, you got to support local. Well, I'm sitting here with 2 local business owners that people don't understand. And you support local workers.
Yep.
Once in a while, me and my friends, we do a bet for the gyms. I told you earlier, we have a Dunmore location, the Wilkes-Barre location. I'm the salesman down in Wilkes-Barre. My buddy Keenan's the salesman up in Dunmore. And we do sales competitions every few months. Whoever wins, each one takes out to dinner, right? Good thing for me and Keenan is the owners, I'm getting dinner anyway. You know what I mean? But the bragging rights are worth more than the dinner.
That's right.
So we usually go to Texas Roadhouse over there.
Okay.
Food's great. It's always good service. You know what I mean? They just like to go there, so it's all good. I'll post pictures from there. I get the feedback. Oh man, well, but it's more about like, oh, you should be going to local places.
Are they locally? Are they franchised or no?
I'm not 100%.
Not sure either.
100% sure. But all I know is that it's probably more likely a locally owned business, like people from like yourselves.
Yeah.
But then the employees there, they're all from around the area.
Right.
So I am supporting them. You know what I mean? Right. And food is food. Don't get me wrong. Like there's certain local mom and pop shops. Like I go for pizza all the time. I support the shop. Most of my page is mostly local places, locally owned mom and pop shops. But sometimes you go to a Texas Roadhouse and they got good food.
Yeah.
You know, but it's all about supporting local business. It is a local business.
And that's the thing too with us. Like, we own 3 franchises. I get it. But we live here. We grew up. Our kids lived here.
I don't think a lot of people realize that they are franchised. Yeah. I mean, because I know like Panera's and stuff like Starbucks aren't franchised, and it's a hard sell to say that like a lot of people just don't associate with the two.
How about Starbucks going on strike because of their uniforms a few weeks ago?
I know. Like
Get the hell out of here.
Like, definitely first world problem here. Like seriously.
Tell you what, I used to love having a uniform to go to work, especially the casino or like the restaurants I used to work at. I was a manager for a while, so that was t-shirt. That was different shirts every day, suit jackets, pants. I want to look good while I'm working.
How about our uniform? Or when my brother-in-law used to.
Oh my goodness! When we first started, Annie Ann's only had white t-shirts, or like button-down shirts like I'm wearing.
Yeah, very basic.
And then her brother-in-law was like, "Oh yeah, we're wearing white pants." I'm like,
white
really?
Pants. Because he had pizza shops, so he walked around with
the white pants and like the white cap.
Yeah, exactly. That's weird.
But the poor kid, like especially guys, like white pants in the middle. Oh God, it was so funny.
Oh, white pants.
Tell me, when am I going to find white jeans in the middle of winter?
White pants in the middle of the mall too.
Yeah.
Like you definitely come in there and be like,
it was.
You're a teenager, early 20s, working in the mall. A guy too. There's girls everywhere. You want to look good for the girls. You're in white pants.
Not white.
That was.
I felt like I was in a bakery or something.
I would love to see some pictures. So where the uniforms? I can't picture them in my head. Where they were now?
No, you can wear jeans or khakis.
And they came out with different shirts and stuff. They really gotten with it.
Starbucks wanted their employees to wear a basic black shirt and a pair of khaki pants, black jeans, regular jeans, right? Clean. Yeah. Should have been that way in the first place. Yeah. You can't give too much. You can't relax too much on your policies for uniforms. People are going to go crazy. And you walk in. I'm not a huge Starbucks fan.
No.
All right. My mother is. A few other people I hang out with are. So there'll be times I have to go through the drive-through or go in. And I'll get a latte. I'm not saying the product's bad. I just don't support that business that much. That's all it is. They have different practices that I don't really agree with. But the whole union and the whole thing about freaking out about a uniform. Now, I do agree with one complaint they had was they should have got a little stipend to pay for the uniform. Just in the beginning, one time, $50. Buy a pair of pants, buy a black shirt. I don't want to hear about it anymore.
Right.
Kind of way to shut them up. You know what I mean? But again, I guarantee every single one of those workers had that exact uniform at their house.
They just had to.
I don't know what the outcome was. I'm not sure the outcome of it was.
I don't know what happened.
Sure.
It fell off. It was big news. And it fell off. Just like everything else we got going on here. Big news and it falls off. Big news and it falls off.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Where we're going with the conversation was the waste and the foot traffic in the malls now.
Correct.
When you first opened,
it was
Jesus Christ, the malls were bang. The Viewmont Mall is still alive. Correct. It's a heartbeat. I don't know what's going on in the Wyoming Valley Mall now. I know Motor World pulled out of their deal.
Right. Correct. Yep.
So now who's gonna pave the parking lot now?
I know.
I go to the gym over there. It's a disaster. I have to. My first workout, my warm up is driving to the gym. To ignore the potholes.
Very bad.
Yeah.
And the mall itself is not great either. Unfortunately, the lights are. They're just waiting for something to happen. But
something on the horizon. Hopefully, it'll come through. We're just not 100% sure what it is.
I know Angelo's family's feeling the same smoke.
Yeah.
For Dino's over there, you know. Look at K-pop just opened up. You guys a K-pop fan?
Yeah.
We went there once. It was
I don't like making my own food that much.
It was very complicated.
I lost
It was way
the
too
1 month
complicated.
I lost the sales competition. So
Oh, you had to go.
that was
Oh, and that's
I
not,
had to make all the food.
and that's not
I
cheap.
agreed to it like a jerk. I don't know why I agreed to it. I'm there for 2 hours, but he's making the food. I stopped being a cook a long time ago. It's all right food. I rather go next door
to
to the buffet.
Okay.
Oh, I love it. That's the best buffet in the area.
Haven't been there.
We've been there.
I haven't. You
Oh,
guys.
maybe.
The honey
Yeah.
chicken. The honey chicken.
Yeah, I'd prefer that over.
Absolutely love it.
That one's too complicated.
The K-pop. Yeah, it's too much going on there. It's good food, but it's too much going on there. They don't have a lot of good side dishes though either.
No.
Korean barbecue. Brian, you fan of Korean barbecue?
I like Korean barbecue.
Like you like cooking the food all day long too?
No, well, that's all right. I'm a big fan of grilling. But
That's fair.
You know where you get me? Korean barbecue sauce all day. I put that on a
Have you ever had the quail eggs there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The small little quail eggs.
never
Just a little
quite
bit
got it.
eggs.
Yeah.
That's all. Nothing fancy.
No.
My friend gave me a duck egg a few weeks ago. He goes, make sure you crack it hard. I go, it's just an egg. I'm like this.
That's how I
That's
feel
how
the
quail
quail
eggs
eggs
are.
are.
I'm like, why won't this fucking thing break? And then
Yeah.
you
My
find it in there.
sisters.
The shell was like this.
Yeah.
Like the egg.
That's
It was
how I
one
feel
egg.
about
It was-
the quail.
It was like 3 eggs in one. It was really, really good.
Well, the quail eggs are
is-
like that, and
Right.
the only way to get them is either like if you don't hard boil them, you could literally gotta squeeze it to get it to come out, or if you do hard boil them, like peeling them is like
Oh,
my
yeah,
God.
that's why I'm like amazed when I see them.
I just smelled hard boiled. I cannot. I love eggs. I cannot eat a hard boiled egg. Oh, just the way it looks
Smell.
and tastes and yolk inside there. Gross.
No eggs here.
No eggs here. Let's circle back to
Okay.
what you guys have been dealing with since the mall has been falling off. When did you guys notice? Take us back. When did you guys notice what? This might be a hard question to pinpoint. When
No,
and what specifically happened with the mall? I know the rise of online shopping, but when did it turn?
Okay.
When did it turn? I'm sorry. Yeah, I keep
think
rambling.
Casino. I think
I
the
think
beginning
that-
of the end was the casino, and then everything that came around it.
Right.
That's my personal opinion. That
Let's
was-
go in. Let's dig in. I know the casino caused some headaches in this area when it first opened. I get it. Let's go into that.
and their
Let's go
claim
into
was that what was their claim? That they would bring in
Oh,
other, I don't know.
jobs.
I'm sorry.
And,
Yeah,
and,
jobs.
And you'd
and-
get a tax break.
oh, right.
Yeah.
The only thing I got was paying taxes.
I mean, the other thing to her point too, like everything around the mall. Okay, so back when the mall was
Oh yeah,
it,
yeah.
okay, you've got a pie of people here. That pie has not increased in terms too much of population.
Actually decreased.
And so when you add in more options, well, now the pie gets smaller. And so that's,
And then the national chains started going, like the Gaps and the, those bigger malls. And then they would go outside. Then Montage came and some
Steamtown.
would go over there. And so I think that was, but I really think, I think it was the casino.
started with that. Yeah.
I watched a show on YouTube called Abandoned. They go to abandoned places.
Oh,
They do the
geez.
abandoned malls.
Mm-hmm.
Insane. Some of the malls that have been built in this country. Now they're just sitting there boarded up.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's excuse me.
Yeah.
The Viewmont Mall seems to be doing well still.
It is.
Kind of traffic
And they
wise.
s-
It looks
and-
really nice inside.
Yeah.
They still have, and the
Forgive me,
same,
your store's in there too, right?
correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And the owners of the Viewmont Mall used to own Wyoming Valley. And then right before COVID hit, they kind of just went to the bank and said, here's the keys, see you bye.
Well, they retired. They were getting really old. Yeah.
Viewmont Mall. How's that location for you guys? You're right by the food court.
Yep.
Seems to be very.
It does.
Very well.
I go there
does
once in
well.
a blue moon. Seems to be very busy.
They still have great stores in the mall. Still have a lot of people coming through. So I'm knock on wood.
Yeah,
And
that mall
they
is
have a
doing
lot
well.
of stuff outside too. So you can't use the argument that, they have some, all the same stores, but
Yeah.
for some reason,
You know
yeah.
what? I don't know, but when you go to the Viewmont Mall, when you get into that section, the mall is the dominant. The mall is like
Right.
the mall is the linebacker for everything else behind it.
Correct.
true.
Unless you're coming out from the back from Dixon City side, but if you're
That's
coming
true.
off that highway,
Yeah. It's first thing.
the mall's hey, let's go to the mall. Hey, let's
Yep.
go to the mall. Then you got stores like anchor stores like Dick's, and
Right.
Home Goods, all that kind of stuff. That's going to be a store people are going to be coming. Kids are playing sports all the time. Parents are spending money on the sports all the time. So you have that as an anchor store.
Yep.
And then you still have the good clothing stores, and the upkeep It's important.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's
Still
the,
clean.
and that
Who the
was,
hell wants to pull into the Wyoming Valley Mall?
Yeah.
So you guys own a store in the Wyoming Valley Mall, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with the? You guys had to ask about the roads being paved. Like, what's the story with that?
Can't get an answer.
Unbelievable. You guys pay rent.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
That's outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. So as the mall started to get less traffic, more stuff being built on the outside. I used to work at Red Lobster down the street. And my old manager, Peter, he was the first manager there. He goes, Brian, it was literally like the Wild West down here.
Yeah.
It was the mall and us.
Is that still there?
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay.
Yeah. I wouldn't say 27 biscuits in one shift. I don't recommend it.
They are
27 biscuits and 10-hour shift.
Oh my God.
It was tough.
I could probably do that.
It was good. you put 2 in a basket, 1 for yourself. 2 in a basket, 1 for yourself. Darden Restaurants wasn't the worst place to work for until it was the worst place to work for, because they got fed up with Red Lobster. I was in a management program. It was I was in a bad spot in my life as well, so I wasn't too focused on it.
Okay.
So I screwed the job up, but thank God I did. Like, thank God I got out of the restaurant business.
It's tough.
Over 20 years, and it just ate away at me. It was no life with it. And then I found the same scheduling problems with the casino business, but it was a little less stressful than the restaurant business.
Right.
What was when you went into it years ago, open up your first store, did you know you're getting yourself into?
No.
She didn't tell you?
Oh,
Did you live it as a child with your family owning stores, everything like that?
No, my brother-in-law who did the Annie Ann's was a pizza shop owner. He was an entrepreneur, and he was in the Salins Grove area. He's the one that recruited me. I was working in DC at the time. I had my food science degree, graduated from Penn State, and he just needed somebody to help him. And I was like, yeah, I'll give you a year, whatever. Like, cause I wasn't thrilled with my job at, in DC. And then I never imagined in my life that I'd still be doing.
What were you doing in DC? You said
I was a food scientist. Yeah. I brought the, USDA, you had to get your labels approved, so I'd bring it to the USDA.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really exciting. But I mean, that's what I went to school for, and that's what I did.
But
But
you weren't too thrilled with it.
well, they didn't pay very well.
That's fair.
So,
Not in DC anyway.
not in DC, not for DC.
Absolutely fair. So you went from opening up your first Annie Ann's pretzels, then your second, then your third, then your fourth. Joe, you told me you owned the Subway back in the day too, right?
Yeah, along the way, yeah.
Where was that at?
Wyoming Valley Mall.
I was gonna say, if you told me Old Forge,
No.
where the old cherry shop was, that ruined the main street, I was coming over there.
Yeah, no. Again,
What year was that?
late 90s.
Was that the prime time?
Yeah.
Was that Jared time?
Yeah.
How about that,
Yeah.
how about that
Yeah.
fucking fallout?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
We got out before that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I saw that coming. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you never liked it. You never liked
It
the.
just wasn't for me.
What didn't you like about it? Besides smelling like a Subway.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Think about
Part of
that.
it.
If you walk by a Subway, it just, hey,
Onions.
is that a person? It smells like, let me grab him. And then I'm sitting there all day long. I hate places where you go, you smell like the grease in the air.
Except for this.
But
that's okay.
Well, you
Sentiment.
don't know. To be honest with you, like,
Yeah,
you walk
it isn't
into
the
the
same.
stores, you don't.
You don't leave smell. I don't.
you
Yeah, this is not on my smell list. I have a list of places.
But I could have back in the day, like I'd work at Annie Ann's a little bit, and then I'd go down to Subway for a little bit. I come home, she goes, you went to the Subway, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Because you'd come out smelling like the bread.
It has to be the bread.
Yeah. So
Pardon my chewing.
Onions.
I'm eating pretzels.
no, that's okay.
So
I'm gonna steal a cinnamon one.
what got you involved in the Subway? And what got you out of the Subway?
Same, like her brother-in-law, same guy who was with the Annie Ann's, got into that, and he was like, "Oh, hey, I'm getting out of this. It's in the same mall. You want to do it?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" Because it's in the same mall. I could work down here and say like the morning, go down there for the afternoon lunch, come back here for the afternoon. And so we did that. And after 5 years, it was just like, it's just not as fun. Doesn't make as much money. Just more, I guess if I put more effort into it, yeah, maybe. But it's just not fun. And I've been doing pretzels now for 30 plus years. It's still fun.
That's great. You gotta have fun doing your job.
So
it's important.
I couldn't get it. I just didn't get it from that. So
good for you recognizing getting out of that. I know people who are working jobs right now. They're fucking miserable. Make a change.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not that easy. I'm like, well, I know. I did it. I know it's not that easy. I left a job. Excuse me. I left a casino job where I was guaranteed hours, full time, pension, insurance, all that stuff. Right? Busy. We make when we're getting the COVID stuff in a couple of minutes. But when we reopened, we were closed for 4 months, the casino.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I sat on my ass for 4 months going nuts. When we reopened, we were very limited players. But I don't know what it was. People wanted to spend, and we were making money over fist. But then people were quitting because they wanted to go home and get the extra money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that only lasted so many more months. And then where are you going to find a job again that's going to make like this,
Yep.
Then they come back, but they didn't take the ones back. Like those people that would be working and they would just quit mid-shift. The casino now the ones that put their 2 weeks in and left, they took them back a couple months later because they're already experienced. They had the gaming license, but the ones that just plain up quit, you can't bring them back. That looks terrible for a business to do that. I would never do that. But I left the comfort of that job and everything that I was making for a pay cut, no insurance, and a sales position that I never really did before at the gym. But man, it was hard at first, but the team behind me that taught me, my boss Tyler Mooney, and then Frank and Tom going on the gym. That's who I deal with now. I deal with 3 people, and they're fantastic. And most of my job is doing jiu-jitsu and MMA. It's peaceful. I get banged up once in a while, you know what I mean? And I have to hustle for my pay.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's satisfying. I love doing it just like you guys love doing your job. And I never thought I'd be doing that, just like you guys never thought you'd be doing this. You never know if you'll take a chance. No. And the worst case scenario for me would have been is not working out. I go back to the casino.
Right.
I have my job waiting for me there if I want to go back today. I don't want to have to go back and do that. Right. I love what I'm able to do today. I'm able to sit here on a Thursday afternoon. Everybody else is working, recording this podcast with you guys. And I'm able to have that freedom. Yeah, talking food. And it's overwhelming sometimes gratitude-wise because I came a long way in my life and to be able to sit here today and be able to do this, it's nice. And it's important, anyone that's listening, if you're thinking about making a change, it's scary.
Oh, yeah.
But put things in order. So when you do it, you don't just do it and be like, oh, shit. You got to have a little bit of a backup. Oh, if you make a backup plan, you know what's going to fail. No, that's just called planning. It's called planning. You could do it. If you really want to do it, you got to put your mind into it. And it's going to be hard at first.
And we have done things that we have failed at.
Oh, yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's just...
Let's talk about that a little bit. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Sure.
What are some
failures?
I wouldn't count Subway as a failure. You got out of there. You're just tired. If you literally told me you're just tired of smelling that, I totally understand.
No. No. So 2 failures. Okay, and I won't even call them failures because.
No, it's good that you're talking about it. It's important to talk about it.
You try it and it just doesn't work sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not going to hit everything you swing at. So back in the early 2000s with the Annians?
Priyama?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Annians over the years.
When they told us we had to leave our spot.
Well, yeah, that too. Okay, so we first got into the mall. Okay, we bought it in 97. Okay, so again, still heyday. I think it was 10 years later, not even. No, 2001. Sorry, 2001. They come to us and go.
It was 3-4 years.
So 4 years we're in to just buying it. And they go, we need your spot. And if you don't like it, there's the door. We'll see.
They didn't renew our lease.
Didn't renew the lease.
This is the mall on the street?
Correct. Yeah.
Just like that.
Just like
that. We had I think we had just paid off our loan and we're like, okay, now we're all ready to.
We're all set.
And.
No shit.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh my.
And so like normal leases in a mall were 10 years. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden you see this lease come through and you're like.
That was, we weren't.
Yeah, weren't ready for that.
So it's easier for the people that own the lease to break it than the ones that signed the lease.
Yeah. So in hindsight, we should have had our brother-in-law renew the lease before.
Okay.
So that we could have, and again, each time we learned something new, but for that short, we shouldn't have left it that short of a lease.
I understand.
That was left.
So that happened. How'd you handle that?
Yeah. That was when there was actually there was very limited space in the mall. Yeah. So we were able to get the space that we were, but people were like,
Yeah, why'd
so
you
rude.
again,
You're so
people were,
stupid. Why'd you move? You know, because we
Like,
had
I
the
didn't have a
seating. We had,
choice.
so for years, people were like, I can't believe you moved. I'm
Where
like,
was
we
the?
would not
Were you in
have
the food court originally?
No, so in the mall, if you remember, when you came out of Sears on the right-hand side, right now, well, that's gone now, but K Jewelers.
Mhm.
Okay, so we were right there on the corner. Back in the day, it was the Orange Bowl,
Yeah, I think so.
the Orange Julius.
Orange Julius.
Oh.
I could taste
And
one
they
of those.
moved. I think it was orange. Wasn't there an
I
orange
think
bowl?
it was the Orange Bowl. I don't remember now, but anyway, it was as soon as you came out of Sears on the right-hand side, and we were there for 10 years.
10 years.
And then that's when they kicked us out. So
What
then
they move in
And
there?
then K just
Jewelers, they took the whole corner.
Took the whole corner,
Right,
and
'cause it
then
was-
they left.
It
Like
was us,
maybe
and then there
not
was a
even
small
10 years
store
later.
next to us that at the time was a jewelry store.
Mm-hmm.
So it was mom and pop jewelry and us. Then K Jewelers came in and offered whatever they offered, and they took the deal, and they kicked us both out. And so we had the option of very limited selections. We ended up where we are now.
Okay.
So then when we moved over there, Annie Ann's at the time had tried different concepts over the years, a cookie concept, and then they were at the time on a frozen custard concept. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. So when we did, we moved over, built a new store, did it with pretzels on one side and custard on the other. Lasted about a year.
Yeah.
And then it was like, this isn't going anywhere.
The custard wasn't going anywhere.
No, and Annie Ann's didn't put a whole lot of effort into it either.
Did you guys
so.
lose steam on your pretzel business in the mall?
No.
So people, the loyal.
We did in a.
We did in the sense from the previous location.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yes.
Because we had seating and people would just come and sit, and it was just like a nice experience, a nicer experience.
Okay.
Now it's just walk up and.
Yeah. That's unfortunate. The mall was just like, and then
Oh, they're brutal. But
and
that
then you
was,
guys realized that it's still a great spot. You got to play the fucking game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
stayed there.
but that's
I get
when
that.
we realized that we could not rely on one business. We were doing perfectly fine with one business. We were probably making more money back then than we probably, you know, like,
And then they
Yeah.
came in and they fucked it all up.
yep.
Yeah.
So we realized that we can't just have one
eggs in one
business. And I
basket.
think that's when you bought the Subway.
Yeah. Right.
Because you're
Okay.
like, you know, we
Okay.
need to
Right.
have a backup because
got
we
you.
can't rely on one business.
So you went from that happening,
Yep.
Subway.
Yep.
Did you buy other Annie Ann's in between when you owned the Subway as well?
Shortly after the Subway, I did Annie Ann's out the crossings in Tannersville.
Okay.
We opened them that one in the food court. It was like 120 square foot baking kiosk that was like you literally couldn't fit more than 3 people in.
Okay.
We were literally like making pretzels on a counter, and then when you need to wash dishes, the counter opened up like a drawbridge, and you were washing dishes on there.
Oh, geez.
So
I feel claustrophobic just thinking
Oh,
about
it
that.
was bad.
yeah.
Right.
And then I want to say from there,
Steamtown.
we bought Steamtown
Okay.
from her brother-in-law.
I remember when Steamtown Mall opened up.
Oh,
there's
that
videos.
was-
There's videos on YouTube of that day.
We were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel the mall shaking. Remember the whole thing was with the mall
it
shaking?
was
Yep.
so
With
poorly
the
done.
earthquakes.
Yeah.
That mall was something else. I was just now it's hard to explain what it's like being inside that mall right now. The anchor store, Boscov's is still alive, but you got
Yeah.
the anchor stores being colleges now.
Yeah.
You got aquariums
And the
in there.
doctors-
You got doctors'
doctors'
offices,
offices.
dentist offices.
Yep.
I mean, that guy did pretty well.
Oh, you mean as far as replacing
Just-
everything?
Just making it when, like I said, pretty much the doors were closing on that
Right.
place,
Yeah,
and then he
correct.
rejuvenated it.
Yep.
Right.
He rejuvenated it, and he gave us something which makes sense. You know, you're bringing,
It's still feet coming into the mall.
yeah, there's still people coming in there, and then you got businesses, and you got the good thing is you get the parking garage.
Yeah.
You know, and it's clean. It was clean. It wasn't a horrible experience going in there.
No, I haven't been there.
Scranton's not too bad.
No.
Scranton's not too bad. You know, I'm down here in the Wyoming Valley now. I grew up in Old Forge, so I lived in
So
Kingston.
which
for the
pizza
last-
place is your favorite?
in Old Forge?
Yeah.
So it used to be Gingerelli's.
Okay.
God rest souls there, right? So our Carolyn Janelle's,
Okay.
but Bobo's is the newest spot in town. It's up by Turkey Hill,
Okay.
the end of Old Forge there before you get into Taylor.
Turkey Hill's on the left.
Turkey will be on, if you're on Main Street and you're going down the road, Turkey will be on your right.
Okay.
Bobo's will be on your left in that plaza
Is it?
where it used to be the donut shop used to be there.
Okay. Okay.
Now it's a Chinese restaurant in the corner. It used to be Antonio's Pizza.
Okay.
Now Bobo's Pizza is on the, it used to be Caludro's Pizza.
Okay.
He sold the business for
Try that.
Bobo's. It's similar to Gingerelli's.
Okay.
It's got the pepper on the. Yeah, it's quite amazing. It's quite amazing. Their Carolyn Janelle's is really, really well. Salerno's and Revillos are two different styles.
Yep.
You got the American cheese style on there, so you're gonna get a different experience with that. I got some jerk off on my page, always saying that every Old Forge pizza tastes the same.
No.
No, it doesn't.
No. Nope.
Yeah, it just drives me. It's just the dumbest comment. I just ignore him anymore. I can't even write it back. It's just the dumbest comment. Like, you need new material, bro. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like saying all this food, all these pretzels taste the
Yeah.
same.
Right.
No.
Right.
That's,
No.
That's the last thing I would say.
Drives me absolutely crazy. Talking about craziness. How'd you guys get through COVID? The mall's closed, right?
Yes. 3
The
months.
mall's-
3 months.
The mall's closed. The amount of businesses that were labeled essential.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
God.
It's not. Now, back then, I was still involved in recovery. They shut down AA meetings.
Oh my god.
They declared AA meetings
Really?
not to be essential, but fucking Walmart was though.
Oh.
Tell you what, I went to
Yes.
Walmart every day. I was going stir crazy in my house. I went a little nuts for a week.
And Lowe's.
I bought a lot
Lowe's
of-
was essential.
I bought a lot of canned food
Yeah. And the liquor store was essential.
and ammo. Yeah,
Right?
right. Think about that. The liquor
So
store was labeled
ridiculous.
essential. Beer stores labeled essential. But we had to shut the gym down for 3 months.
Yep.
The owners, we had one location. You guys definitely felt the heat. They almost
Oh,
lost the business.
very
Yeah.
easily.
I mean, I kept on paying my membership because they made it up to us.
Yeah.
When our new memberships came up, but they asked you don't obviously we don't have to charge. We're not going to charge you. We're going to
Yeah.
open. But I'm like, no, just run it. Take care of me when I have a new contract. When I got a new contract, I got a rebate price,
Oh, that was good.
and I saved my money throughout the year. But I helped them keep. I was an instructor at the school, everything like that. So
Yeah.
it was important. But they almost had to fold.
Oh, I get
we're,
it.
Like we're opening up next week, no matter what. Like they said, and again they said if it ever happens again, they'll never close.
Right.
You don't have a right to tell somebody to close.
I
It's my
agree.
decision to go there. It was fucking insane. Take me through your experience on it.
We had no choice. It was the landlord telling us, "Oh, we're locking the doors and you're not coming in unless you."
Because we could have technically done curbside,
Right.
like
Yes.
all the other places, but they wouldn't let us do that, and we really didn't have the mechanism in place to do curbside as far as. But
yeah, I mean, and not to say that if they did, if any of our employees would have
Came to
come.
work. Yeah.
We did have the one store at Walmart open. So again, like the stinky part was at our one store in Viewmont, we'd just gotten a truck of food delivered the day before.
It was a Wednesday when we
Yeah,
everything shut.
right.
I remember I remember working.
So Tuesday comes along and we get our delivery because we get one every Tuesday. And, all the supplies come in and now all of a sudden, oh, we're shut down. I'm like, well, I just got all this. What am I supposed to do with it? So I literally have to make appointments with the management office for me to come in and load up my truck, take all the food down to the Walmart location.
well, thank God we had that. Otherwise,
Right.
I mean,
Otherwise,
that was the
that all
other
would have
thing.
been gone.
A lot of businesses had to
throw
lose
stuff
all
out.
their product. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the stinky part was like for how long we've been in business and doing this, you lived and died by your own, how much you wanted to put into it. So it was up to you. If you want to let the business go to crap, fine. Don't go to work. But if you wanted the business to survive, you're going to be there. Well, now all of a sudden you can't. What do you mean I can't? I've been doing this all my whole life. Why can't I?
Mhm.
And you couldn't. And you're like, this
And they
makes
had
no sense.
And they had no idea why. Think about
No.
this stuff we're finding out now.
Yeah, right.
I'm not anti-vaccine or anything like that, but I got the vaccine because I don't want to wear a mask at work anymore dealing cards. Think about that. I don't know what's doing inside me. Hopefully I don't grow a third head, but I got it not because of the science and because of this and that. I got it because I don't want to wear a mask anymore at work.
Yeah.
And I would have had to wear that mask for 9 more months dealing cards while the customers could smoke cigarettes
Oh, come on.
and
Oh,
not
yeah.
wear a mask.
Seriously?
The casino was a shit show.
Wow.
Let me tell you, 5 minutes. Let me tell you quick. I went back to work. We had to wear masks everywhere we were. In the dining room, we had an employee dining room. We all sit together, bullshit.
Yeah.
Got to break. I got to break every hour. I got a 20-minute break. I had to keep my mind fresh and
Yeah.
everything like that, right? Got to break every hour. 20 minutes in the room. You sit by myself, yelling at people across the dining room because we're nowhere near each other. And if you brought a chair and sat next to somebody, they saw it. And next thing you know, somebody's coming in,
Oh man.
breaking us up, right? If I was on a table dealing craps and Joe, let's just say you called in the next day, hey, I got COVID. They're going to go back, run tape. They're going to send home everyone on the crew and anyone else that was near the table. And they 2 weeks we had to sit home. The amount of times I got quarantined and not paid unemployment. The state, Pennsylvania owes me about $1,000 on unemployment. And I owe them a little bit of, I'm going to get into that. But they owe me $1,000 and I called one of our representatives. I heard that people were calling a certain representative from our area to one time. They were getting taken care of. I'm like, I called the lady. I go, listen, they owe me 2 payments. Oh, I don't know if I could do anything for that. I'm like, $1,000 to me is like $10,000 to somebody else. You can't help me out. I voted for this. I was mad. I forget who it was, but I never got that money. But it was just a pain in the ass. It was unnecessary. Right. My friend Hunter calls me the one day. He's like, yo, you get quarantined? I'm like, yeah. He goes, yeah, it was me. I go, it was you. It was nowhere near you. He goes, no, yeah, they're just taking precaution. I was nowhere near him. But they didn't care. It was their way of doing things to make it look good. Yep. The fucked up part about it is, part of my language, the worst part about it was, that wasn't happening behind the scenes, in the kitchens, in the hotels, because they were short-staffed.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So they weren't quarantining them like that, but the dealers were expendable. 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. People quitting. Now I'm working overtime. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. It was worth it, but it was insane. There was plexiglass on the roulette table.
That was.
You ever play roulette?
No.
You can picture it though, right?
I can, yeah, absolutely.
So I'm dealing with roulette. Now I have crazy players playing roulette. They'll pay in for $200, 200 singles, and they'll put those 200 chips all over the numbers, everywhere. It's the worst strategy in the history of roulette. God. There's no good strategy in roulette. The rumor is, it's not a true story, but the rumor is the inventor of roulette killed himself trying to beat the game. That's how hard it was, right? Okay. So I'm now I'm going under the plexiglass to get under the plexiglass, right? I can't hear them. They're this, they're that. They're giving me hard times. I told my boss, I go, listen, I'm not threatening. I'm not saying anything, but I go, there's people that want to come down here and deal this game, and I want to go deal craps. If we can't work something out, I'm going to kill somebody on the side of this plexiglass, or I'm going to quit. Those are the options. Do with that what you will. Luckily, my boss was cool.
Got the hit.
One of the cool bosses. Some other bosses would have been like, go home, I don't care. Yep. Spite their nose, spite out their nose to spite their face. People like that, But went on the craps table, which is great. But the craps game, there's room for 16 players. We were limited to 6.
6 feet apart, right?
3 per side. 6 feet apart, but you could smoke at the table.
Oh yeah, it makes sense.
But they did away with smoking for about a year there. Then they brought it back, which is unnecessary.
Yeah.
But it's just the
Why didn't they bring back the
valet parking?
The valet parking?
What was the reason for the valet parking? So at that time when they stopped it was an outsourced company that was doing it.
It wasn't COVID related?
Oh, it was definitely.
It was
the they stopped it because it was COVID related, but then they just never brought it back. They just didn't. They didn't feel the need to bring it back.
Okay.
They don't listen. I worked there for a long time, and I used to not say anything about it because when I quit, I was engaged to someone that worked there, and I'm no longer with that person. So I'll blast into it because there was a lot of unsafe practices there, and they get away with that, And it was just unnecessary. The stuff that they would do to their employees there sometimes. They were good to their employees, but sometimes they weren't. Yeah. Like any business would. I don't know why they never brought it back because they probably didn't want to pay for it. Yeah. They probably don't want to pay for it. They pay fines for the slot machines on purpose, in my opinion. They tighten them up. They get away with it as long as they possibly can. This is all my opinion. They get away with it for as long as they possibly can. They get caught. They pay a fine. The fine is probably cheaper than the machines would have let loose. Yeah. All casinos are that way. They don't build them like that for nothing.
Yeah, to lose money.
Yeah, they don't build them like that for nothing.
Right.
We have not discussed, because I'm going to get into one now. My sore throat wants one of these.
Okay, so closest one to you is called the Chocolate Elvis. Peanut butter, bananas, cocoa.
So just everyone knows that we're talking about. This is from Planet Smoothie.
Yes, sir.
Right? Tell me about Planet Smoothie.
So we got into that.
Chocolate peanut butter, you said?
Chocolate, banana. I'm sorry.
Brian, you want one?
Yes.
Cocoa, peanut butter, banana, hard packed yogurt.
That's peanut butter and banana is a really good mix.
Hence the chocolate Elvis.
Yeah, it's a really good
Hard
mix.
packed yogurt.
Yeah, it's
Hard-
supposed to.
I'm a big
as
Elvis.
opposed-
I'm a big Elvis fan.
as opposed to like hot soft yogurt.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it smells great.
Yeah, that's one of the top 2 sellers.
Oh, that's good. I gotta get some of the this part right here.
All right.
Chocolate peanut butter is literally my life.
That's really good.
Like that one. Yeah.
Really,
it's-
so what's inside here? I totally did not listen to what
Oh,
you
no,
said.
that's okay. So it's peanut butter, banana, cocoa, hard packed yogurt.
It's a healthy smoothie, right?
Yes.
How's this business you guys do with this? How's this is popular?
We brought it in as kind of like an add-on
Compliment to the
What-
pretzels, right?
Right.
Right.
Once after the Criyama,
Yeah.
you
So
had that extra space.
again, once we kind of got rid of the frozen custard and had like a space, started talking to other friends of mine around the country who had Auntie Anne's, and they're like, "Oh, hey, give this a try. We're doing it, and it's really working for us, and really happy with it." At the time, they were based out of Nashville, so off we go to Nashville to kind of talk to them, and here it is today. It's complimentary to if instead of let's say someone comes in, your options are lemonade soda. This is a little healthier. Because the second one is called Twig and Berries.
Yeah.
It's strawberries, bananas. So it's not like puree. It's actual strawberries. It's actual bananas.
Nice.
It's not.
You mean juice? Like
Yeah, it's not
pumped.
Yeah, it's not juices at all.
Because purees could be.
How was it? How was Auntie Anne's? How were they? Were they in favor of you bringing in an outside business into the store? Were you allowed to do that? How'd that work?
They didn't have an option for that at the time. So they were like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And again, then it comes back to we have our names on the lease with the mall. So in essence, you could kind of do a little bit of what you want in your space.
At that time. But since then.
It's tightened up, obviously, over the years.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm not a big berry fan. Like I do like not in a drink. I'm weird. I'll eat a raspberry. You give me a raspberry iced tea. Let's keep it.
Yeah.
Keep it. So what's in here again?
Strawberries and bananas. That's it. And yogurt. Sorry.
That's good.
There's not many Planet Smoothies in this area. Jamba Juice is a little bit
More widely known.
Yeah.
And so,
Which is what now is in the same group as Auntie Anne's, but
yeah, the Auntie Anne's parent company now owns Jamba Juice, whereas back in the day when we did this, they did not.
So a lot of places are opening up now. We have is it papaya bowl or something like that.
oh, Playa
Bowl.
That was close.
Yeah.
And we brought bowls too.
Okay,
So
yeah, I see that. So is that acai?
One's acai, one's dragon fruit.
So you know what's really, really big in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Acai berries.
yeah, that's right.
I go to tournaments all over the country. $19 for acai balls.
Wow.
$19.
Yeah.
I went to Florida 2 years ago for pans. It was 15. This year it was 19.
Wow.
Ours are-
Same product.
Ours are 11.
Push one over here, will you?
So
You don't mind?
this is the berry Brazilian. That one is with the acai. And so
Acai
that one is, give me a second. Tell you
Berry-
what's in it.
berry Brazilian.
So that's strawberries, blueberries, bananas, granola, and honey.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get into that. That's great. See, we talked
Wait, no,
about
I'm sorry, that's the dragon fruit. That is the PB
what
and
I
the B. That's peanut butter, blueberries,
the-
bananas, granola, honey, but with dragon fruit. That's the acai there.
oh, that's the acai. I want to try the acai
Yeah.
ball.
Yep, that's the
What's lighter?
yeah. Oh, they're
What is for anyone that's listening?
they're the same.
What's the acai? What is acai berries?
It's like superfood out of the Amazon area.
Yeah, they're good.
And
Ice cold. I love
the company is called Sambazon, Sambzon.
Zambazon.
Yeah,
That you get the
I got it.
that's who we.
Okay.
Yeah, that's who the manufacturer of what we use.
Even though it's been sitting around a little bit,
Yeah.
still really good.
Oh yeah.
Still really good.
I'm gonna steal a pretzel
Oh yeah, we're gonna get this is the part of the podcast where we just sit back,
and eat.
talk some food.
Okay.
Yeah. I got some food questions for you. Stu.
Sure, absolutely.
I love that. I can put that in my freezer when I get home.
And again, this is kind of the healthier, say, option if you were to come through instead of a soda or, lemonade.
And that's like a meal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I have been on a soda kick lately. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I don't really get big on the sugar, but I had a Coca-Cola in the glass bottle, the Mexican sugar inside there.
Yeah.
And unleashed my sugar tooth. Like, I just can't get enough soda now. I'm buying the little cans.
Mm-hmm.
We also have, like, again, these are 2 of the 30 varieties of smoothies we have. We also have ones for, like, that are meal replacement with regular whey protein, meal replacement protein, plant
nice.
protein.
That's nice.
So we have different options, and you can literally pick any smoothie and tailor it. If you don't want spinach in it, if you don't want something in it, we could tailor it to your liking.
I'm not a fan of plant protein myself.
No, I'm not either.
The soy is mostly the body of that. Whew. That's rough.
I don't care for
And
the
it's not
taste.
you're not going to get like 20 grams of plant protein isn't the same as 20 grams of whey animal protein in
Correct.
the bodybuilding world, and
Right.
vegans don't want to understand that. Anyway, so don't get me going. We'll get into a real food fight here.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right, so I'm looking at 2
Yep.
awesome trays
Yep.
of food. All right, for those that aren't watching, the first one, we got the pizza pretzel. What's the name for the pizza pretzels? Is there
Pepperoni.
Pepperoni pretzel.
Yep.
We have the little hot dogs,
Mini dogs.
mini dogs.
Yep.
We have the
Cinnamon sugar nuggets.
cinnamon sugar nuggets
and original nuggets.
and original nuggets. Where did the idea to cut the pretzels up come from?
Wow. So I want to say that's when we first started again, it was only pretzels. And then it went to sticks, which would have been like, say, the size of your finger. And then all of a sudden, then it was like, oh, well, let's cut them up into nuggets. Because like other pretzel concepts were doing nuggets. And then it was like, oh, okay. But we never got, it was always like, well, but we're a pretzel company. And these are kind of like, say, other things we do. And so then all of a sudden, people like the portability of them. Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
People
That sounded fantastic, actually. I love that.
That was this, not me. And then the portability of the product is like, oh, hey, these are great. I could give it to my kid, and it's here, pick it up, go ahead. And so that's kind of what went out. So
Are these made? For some reason, I thought it makes sense now. That it was just like these pretzels. You make the pretzel, you need to cut them up. But these are obviously made into.
Yeah, so instead of
long lines, right?
It's the same the process is the same. Like it's the same length of a dough strip I'd use to twist the pretzel.
Right.
Except I'm just going to cut it into little sliced nuggets.
Okay.
It's just like a pretzel's quicker and easier for me to make and put on a tray and throw in the oven. Whereas this requires a step or 2 extra. But the portability aspect is what people like.
I might have missed the part of the story. Okay. Was this a national rollout for Auntie Anne's, or was this you guys doing this?
Everything is theirs.
Everything.
Oh, okay.
We're not allowed to roll anything out we want.
Literally.
Yes.
So you have no freedom on off. Okay.
I could suggest things that have to go through the review process, but never, you're not allowed on the local level to stray.
You know what we'll do well? With the pepperoni, a little side of sweet sauce. Little NEPA.
Oh, you didn't bring any dips. Dips.
Specifically, a little NEPA sweet sauce dip.
Okay.
They tried the ranch.
Right.
That was their latest thing.
I just think the
pepperoni.
nostalgia of how popular sweet sauce is in this area.
Oh,
Like
the sweet
sweet
sauce.
pizza
Okay,
sauce.
That's what I'm talking about
Yeah.
specifically.
Okay.
Like, you can't bring your own stuff in, but you can make. Listen, we're NEPA. People
Yeah.
love sweet sauce in this
Right.
area.
Right.
Imagine having the pizza pretzel dipping into like
That's
Angelo's sweet sauce.
Yeah.
true. Bring
That's
it up.
true. Have to
That'd
try
be
it.
really, really good. Then you got this. If you had the Cinnabon, now Cinnabon and Auntie Anne's 2 different
Correct.
businesses, right?
And 2 different doughs.
I want to dip the cinnamon pretzels into the Cinnabon frosting.
That is
Ooh,
absolutely.
You've done that
That
before, I'm
is-
sure.
Yeah.
Oh
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is weird that they don't do that though. 'Cause
Right.
they could easily buy.
Yes.
Did you
Good
go to
idea.
Did you go to store to store? Did you like, hold on, let me go to Cinnabon and get
Yeah.
some.
Uh-huh.
That frosting is
Yeah.
incredible. You guys make that in house, the frosting, or does it come?
It comes.
Because it's got to be uniform for everywhere, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Do you have a case of it at your house?
No.
That's
be
a
guilty.
really good idea, though.
Yeah,
wonder why
I'd
they-
be able to hear. No.
But just getting that kind of frosting.
Yeah.
Not so much,
because
not even so
they've-
much Cinnabons.
They've
but just,
done different
it's like a cream
frostings,
cheese
but
frosting,
that,
so
that
that's
would,
what
the
makes it-
Cinnabon, that would totally make sense.
Absolutely.
I love sweets.
Yeah.
My girlfriend brought me, she brought me donuts. I go, she got coffee. I go, get me a couple, get 6 donuts from Dunkin' Donuts. Get them random, but I want 2, the vanilla creamed, the chocolate on top. She brings back 6 vanilla cream. So I told them to switch it up. They didn't. So I ate 6 of them while I was sick the last few days.
Yeah.
They were good. They were they weren't easy to go down with the sore
Yeah.
throat. But 8 out of 6 of them though, and each one tasted fantastic. Yeah, absolutely tasted fantastic.
You gotta do Krispy Kreme. That's Cadillac of donuts.
Krispy Kreme donut, right? You get it the next day, air fryer, 20 seconds.
Oh, that sounds good.
These in the air fryer would be amazing.
True.
Absolutely amazing. All right, let's continue around the table. All right.
All right.
You guys bake those chocolate chip cookies
So-
in-house at Cinnabon?
Yeah. So what that is
We're
that's-
jumping trade. We're going for Annie Ann's, the Cinnabon tray.
So what those chocolate chip cookies are is this mini bun right here is baked inside of that. So if you take one of those and you look on the bottom of it, that's inside there. Yeah,
What?
I'm just blew your world. I
What?
know. So
Yeah.
so take a cookie and look underneath it.
I can't wait to see my face on that. Oh my God.
There you go.
Fuck off. Look at that. Holy shit. I curse a lot. I'm so sorry.
That's
That's all
okay.
right. Hey, you don't mind.
Restaurant business, 25 years.
Believe me.
I used to curse at my place
It's
at
not
the
the
casino.
first time I heard it. Let me tell you.
Oh my God. Look at that.
We're not a kid show. Sorry.
yeah,
No,
You're
that's
definitely
all right.
we're not a
kid
kid
show.
friendly.
So,
other than
chocolate
the,
chip cookie.
with the mini bun in it, got to try it. Go
And I
ahead.
mean,
It's
people really think the chocolate chip cookie is really good,
Yeah.
even without it. It's like a little surprise.
That was worth me getting out of bed this morning. Brian, you want one?
No, of course not.
The thing about Cinnabon too, though, you said about like
The cookie now
they
is
have a
lot
way
lighter.
to recycle it, right? They have the bigger one, and then they have
Yeah, so like with Cinnabon, the way it works, so these are a mini bun, and then there's a size bigger, and then your classic. So like with the classic and the mini bun, you're only allowed to keep them for 30 minutes. After that, you're going to wait for it to cool down. Then you're at a second layer of frosting to it.
Mm.
And then that's where you can box them up and send them as to-go packs.
Okay.
So-
Oh my.
so that's a little
So
bit
it's a little
better.
bit less waste than a pretzel in the sense that you can kind of reuse it, so to speak.
Are you guys allowed to donate the older pretzels to any type of kitchens in the area? Or Red Lobster used to do this thing called Harvest.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what we do.
That's what
That's good.
Viewmont still does it.
Viewmont still does it. Sometimes it's hard because
There's a lot of regulations with it.
yes,
Yeah.
but it's also hard because you don't always have the place that you find or they find for you. That company doesn't come and pick up,
Okay.
and we don't have the means sometimes to make the delivery.
That's fair.
So
That's
again,
fair.
you'd love to because again, it's like, oh my God, it's not going in the trash. We're helping people, but sometimes you can't get people to come get it.
I understand.
So
I understand. You didn't. There's too much time in between, everything like that.
Yeah.
I totally get that. Do you make the Cinnabons too by yourself sometimes? What's your role at the stores, guys? What do you guys do what do you guys do on a daily basis? Take me through a day.
at this point, having this many locations, I don't necessarily get into making the product on a day-to-day
That's fair.
basis. We are both like support. I go to the stores to see what's going on. The only one I'm in, say, the trenches making would be the one at the Bryce Jordan Center. Most of the times we have enough staffing to take care of it, but like most of the staff are students.
Mhm.
When the students leave, there's sometimes still events, especially like during spring break,
Sure.
or we just did one last weekend. There was a cheerleading event at the Bryce Jordan Center, and
I bet that was packed.
it was about 5,000 people
Yeah.
on a daily basis. And so like we really had, everybody was gone. So it was us. And
But it's nice because it's a captive audience.
I get it.
There's very limited,
Mhm.
food options. So there's 5,000 people.
so, I mean, it was,
Unlike a mall that
Yeah.
there's probably not
Is your
5,000
guys'
people.
dream location to live down in Penn State? My aunt and uncle used to live. They lived in Utica. Now they live in. Their dream was they lived down in State College. My niece goes down there to school. She'll be a junior next year, I believe.
See if she wants to make pretzels.
She probably would.
Seriously, especially at the BJC, it's a really great schedule for students.
I don't know if she works when she's down there. I know when she comes home. My brother manages J&J Snacks.
Yeah, okay.
Over there in Moods with Italian Ice. So her and my nephew will work there in the summertime or come home for a week and work. Yeah. I don't know if she works. I'll bring it up to her though.
Okay.
I'll bring it up to her though.
It's not like it's not even part-time. It's kind of like seasonal.
Oh, I totally get that.
It's totally seasonal.
I 100% bring it up
to
her.
I mean, I give credit to the kids that do work. I mean, I didn't work when I was there, but there's we have really good kids that work for us.
Yeah, I'll definitely bring it up to her. You never know. I don't know what she's up to, but I definitely bring it up to her.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, this has been a great interview so far. I got some closing questions.
I'm glad you like the food.
Oh, it's so good. Is there anything else you want to talk about the food?
Just the catering aspect of it.
Oh yeah. Yep. I would have circled back to that.
That's okay.
Let's get to the catering part. I know that you mentioned it when we were talking last night.
Yep.
That you would like to be able to bring this type of stuff to the masses.
Right.
What are the plans for that?
So again, as you see on the trays as they are, and you even alluded to it before, if you go to a party, and that's a churro, by the way.
I know I almost didn't eat a churro.
If you were walk into a party, everybody's got the usual,
That's what I'm talking about.
Or
that's why it blew my mind last time when you said that.
Typical donuts and bagels and whatever. It's just a really good alternative.
Office meetings, again, okay, well, let's get bagels, let's get donuts, let's get coffee from somewhere. Okay, well, geez, if I came in with a tray of this,
we like pharmaceutical reps.
Yeah. Production will go up in that meeting.
Yeah, right. So I mean, we're trying to, get companies to kind of realize that this is what we do now. I mean, we're not just walk up to the counter and this is what I want.
And we deliver too if it's a big enough order, we will deliver. Right. But quick pickup if they order ahead.
You guys got into this yet?
Yeah.
Are you doing it already?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're for stuff like this.
Excuse me.
If you were to go on AntieAnns.com or Cinnabon.com, you can go directly to, there's a catering tab and then locate our stores. We're trying to streamline it so that we can skip that step and have our own, say, website.
Right.
So that you wouldn't have to go through and pick. You would just go, boom, I want to go to that store.
Okay.
And the other part would be we're on, the other option is called easycater.com, where if you want larger orders, if someone just wants one pretzel, a one-off, DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, all that stuff we have, or even AntieAnns.com, you can do the one-offs. It's going to come via DoorDash anyway. You might pay less fees. But for this kind of thing, you call me, or if you don't want to deal with a person, you just go on easycater.com or AntieAnns.com.
Okay.
And it's all there.
That's great. That'd be great for the listeners to hear that. Excuse me. So sorry. Is this corporate wide?
Yeah.
Okay. So when they start rolling that out?
They talked about doing it for the last several years, and again, it's a slow push. We've been doing it a lot, more so on our end, just from individual connections we have. We got a gentleman who, again, I'll go here, bereavement. Okay, somebody dies, okay, I'm going to send a deli tray. I'm going to send a pasta tray. He calls me up. I bring one of each of these.
We call him the Grim Reaper because whenever he calls, someone I was like, who died now?
Who died but it's different.
It is different.
People and we do it as well for people, and they just really enjoy it.
Pick up one of those chocolate chip cookies and you bite into a Cinnabon in there. That's gonna be a story. I'm gonna talk about that.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna talk about it later on.
Right.
At the gym tonight.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm choking somebody, I'd be like, "Yo, I had just when I had them in a rear naked choke." I'd be like, right before I make them tap, I'm like, "Just so you know, I had a chocolate cookie today."
The extra flex in there is the sugar from the.
I'm gonna be like, just so you know, no, I'm gonna put you to sleep now and go like that. I got put to sleep once. It was an experience.
Wow.
I got knocked out. My friend choked me. I didn't tap fast enough. I did tap fast enough, but
he didn't see it.
I didn't tap though. I don't think I tapped. I think I passed out beforehand. So when you get put to sleep, I don't know if you guys ever experienced that or not. Mm-hmm. There's signs that you're going out. Whatever noise is in the background, say there's music. That starts to get, the first thing is that starts to get lower. then you hear a buzzing in your head. When you hear the buzzing in your head, the next step is going out. That's when you tap. Well, you tap before the music goes lower.
Yeah, hopefully.
But music goes lower, then the buzzing starts and you don't really know what's going on. And next thing you know, you're out. My friend did that. I woke up. I'm like, oh, the fuck? He's like, relax. I put you out. You're right. You're out for about 5 seconds. Like 5 seconds. I had a whole dream. I don't know if I always ask people that. I never got a yes yet. You guys, by any chance, Star Trek fans? Say yes.
I remember back in the day, yes.
All right, there was one Star Trek movie where it was Shatner and Stewart in the same movie. It was Star Trek Generations.
Okay, I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
Well, there was this phenomenon flying around in space called the Nexus.
Okay.
And if you got a shipwreck or something like that, this thing would destroy your ship. But when you would get put into it, it was like it's kind of like heaven in a way. It was kind of like a place where if you want to go here, you go there. If you want to live a memory, you go back to that memory. It was quite entertaining, right? Well, the dream I had felt like that, and I just wanted to go back. I didn't feel right for 15 minutes. I stopped training that day. I was like, that was an experience and a half.
Ouch.
I recommend it. I recommend trying it out.
The only Star Trek movie I remember is The Wrath of Khan with Ricardo Montalban.
Oh, Khan! So my father, I'm a big Trekkie. I got real big into Star Trek when I was growing up. So it's Star Trek, Star Wars.
Yep.
Just got done watching Andor.
No.
Andor is the newest show. It's the second season. It's like the political. It's kind of like the story of the empire behind the scenes, like all the office work.
Okay.
All the generals and leaders building the Death Star in secret. Quite entertaining. It leads up to the one movie Rogue One, and then Rogue One goes right into New Hope, where Vader's. You remember the first Star Wars movie?
Yeah.
Where Vader's got Princess Leia's freaking out.
Yep.
Well, they made a TV show and a movie telling the story before that.
Okay.
Like how
Very
did they
cool.
get the plan for the Death Star?
Okay.
Incredible. It's pretty. It's like you think like, oh, the Empire is so stupid. They let the Death Star get blown up by an exhaust pipe. There's a whole backstory to that now.
Okay.
And it's quite entertaining.
All right.
It's quite entertaining. What was I saying before that? Oh, we're talking about the catering. Is there any
Yes.
more you guys wanted to let the listeners know about the catering?
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is we have buckets too, and they're pretty popular for the nuggets.
Buckets of pretzels?
Yeah. So
Buckets.
think of if you go to the movie theater and you get the bucket of popcorn.
Yeah.
It's that size,
I
and
think it's like five.
it's
5
orders
servings.
of 5 servings of whatever you're ordering. You can split it in half if you want half pretzels, half nuggets. I mean, half pretzels, half mini dogs, half pretzels, half pepperoni, half original pretzels, half cinnamon pretzels. You can split how you want it.
That's got a Super Bowl party written all over it.
Yeah, and same
Exactly.
thing. That's like one of our biggest days. You know, trying to get people to go, hey, you know, that or okay, graduation parties now. Father's Day's this weekend.
Yeah, they did a lot for March Madness, that
Yes.
type of thing.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you ever maybe there's a lot of local bars in the area that maybe don't make food themselves? Could that be potential people that you could
Possibly
want to hit up on
Yeah.
stuff like that?
absolutely.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Right.
Because they have the means to reheat them if necessary. I don't know if that's part of the catering plan. Like how does that work?
We've tried a few places. Remember you went to the bar at Penn State?
Oh, in State College, yeah, I went to a bar there to try and set up. And
What was their reaction?
they loved it, but you know,
Just getting the right person to go, and
Yeah.
you
So
know,
like-
more of a staffing issue. They wouldn't do it themselves.
yeah. So I had to go
That
in
particular one.
and do it. So here I
get it.
am, you know, old guy in a college bar going, hey, you want a pretzel?
Well, hopefully things work out. I feel like the more you grow that, people just are going to love the idea of that.
Yeah, we
I
need to.
I
we
want to
can't.
come to a party and have an Auntie Anne's pretzel.
You could
Set up
bring
on
them
track.
next party you go to.
Yeah,
I absolutely can.
But we can't rely on the traffic anymore, so we have to go out and get them. So that's
Hey, because you guys are ambitious and you're willing to put the work in. That's important. You got to keep your business and your dream alive.
Yep.
You know,
a few more years.
A few
So-
more years.
a lot of business talk today. Let's relax a little bit. It's always good to get a good cool down from a good workout. I know you guys are into fitness.
Yep.
What are some of your do you guys work out together?
No.
No. I totally ruined my whole question. That's fine.
No.
But it's important. It's important to stay fit.
Yes.
The older we get, for my personal ring, I'm training with 20-year-olds and they're running circles around me sometimes, but I have to keep up with them. I do my best to do that.
Well,
It's important.
Again, like the older we get, the more frail you get. But if you're building it up now,
More muscle you build.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
it's like currency.
100%.
So if you're building up muscle currency now, you'll have it later. It's funny because my mom just passed last month, and I always would say to her, you got to exercise. Yeah, but I work in the yard. I'm like, yeah, but it's not the same.
I tell my mother the same thing. She drives me crazy.
And it's like, so
It comes back and bites you.
Mm-hmm.
But
But it's good to stay
different
active.
generation.
It's
Yeah.
good to stay active. It's good to stay, fit and stay into that.
keeps you mentally going.
It does.
You know,
It really, really does. Gets you ready for stuff like coming in here and doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You guys like to travel.
yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to ask you, Joe, what was your favorite place that you ever traveled? First, you're up first.
Okay, so we've been to several places in Italy. Last summer we went to a few different places, and I would say right now favorite would have been when we were in help me out.
Sardinia?
Huh?
Sardinia? Oh,
Yes.
no, Bologna.
Bologna. Great food. Okay, not that any place you go in Italy doesn't have incredible food.
Someone's got to be better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great food, great small town, big city feel, great story, great architecture, and but food. She's from the south in Calabria, and so that still
Me too.
remains the
place.
best food there in the south. So that was great. This summer we are going in the end of July. We're going to Hawaii. Our younger daughter is doing an internship there.
Oh, wow.
Hell of a place to like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too bad you got to go there to see her.
I know.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I know.
It's terrible.
But I'd say, right now that in Italy, in Bologna.
Good for you. How about yourself?
I would have to say, so I was born in Italy, in Calabria,
Okay.
and our ocean is,
The Ionian Sea.
the Ionian Sea, Marina Giosa. Whenever we go there, you can't. I mean, it just kind of stinks because you come back here. Any ocean I've ever been to has not been as nice.
Okay.
So it's
I
just
understand.
beautiful. Yeah.
You're spoiled seeing that.
Yeah.
I love that's one of my dream vacations is to go to Italy. One of these days. My family that lives there, my cousin Freddie knows where they're at. And he talks
Yeah,
and
the
he
South
goes
is
there and sees them.
relatively untouched as far as it's just not as commercialized, which is
There's no any pretzels over there yet.
No.
Oh, great.
They don't understand, like, when
no
they ask you
pretzels
what
are
you
not
do-
a thing there.
Okay.
I don't know how
It's not like
well they would go.
Pennsylvania being the
No.
pretzel capital
No.
of the world, right?
No.
There's pretzels everywhere in the state.
Yeah, they have other good treats, but not
Oh, yeah.
pretzels.
But Hawaii was that about 15-hour flight?
Yeah.
start to
legs hurt.
finish.
My legs
Yeah.
hurt just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing I wanted to talk about. Alumni Association.
Mm-hmm.
You brought it up to me last night.
Yes.
You guys do your own alumni association? Or is it the official Penn State Alumni Association?
So every, not every, there's over, I think, 50 some chapters throughout the country.
Okay.
So we're Wyoming Valley. There's also a
Okay.
Scranton chapter,
Hazelton.
chapter. So yeah, we are the head of the Wyoming Valley chapter. I'm also on the Alumni Council, which is the Penn State Alumni Association.
So is it good? You guys hold events? Is it like networking events? Is it fundraiser
Yeah.
events? Is it
It's all
a little
fun
bit of
stuff.
mixture-
It's
mixture
all
of
really
stuff
just
stuff?
trying to get alumni together. But
Okay.
yeah, mostly
We're trying to grow the members because, like, when we took it over, it was maybe 2-3 years ago where we kind of really didn't have anybody.
there's about
There?
10,000 alumni in the area,
Okay.
in just the Wyoming area itself. I mean,
Okay.
it's like crazy.
Oh, wow.
And you don't need to be a alumni to be part of the alumni association.
I
It's
understand.
probably like 80-20,
Okay.
the 20% of friends, like people that really like Penn
Oh,
State.
I like that.
So
That's nice.
yeah, so anybody can join, but we just like to, spread the Penn State spirit. Basically, that's all we do.
I'll have to come check it out and
So
express
we
my
have-
Ohio State spirit in the football
Yeah.
There you
games.
go. so we have football watch parties. I think this summer we're going to try and do like a preseason tailgate party.
Oh, nice.
Where there won't be a game. We're just kind of getting together to get
Yeah.
together.
Yeah,
Then in August, when the kids go back to school, we'll have a first day of school
Nice.
party here. We usually, like last year, we did it at SBC.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
we
it's
didn't
all
do
the
anything
fun
other
stuff.
than get together, drink, and have pizza. But it was the first day of school for Penn Staters.
Yeah.
So as alumni and supporters,
The only thing we
we're gonna
fundraise-
I like
celebrate that.
I like that.
We fundraise for Thon. I don't know if you're familiar with
What's that?
Thon. If you know what the dance marathon that they do, that's the only fundraising really
possible
that we
I know what you're
do.
talking
It's the
about.
46 hours that they dance.
Oh,
It's
wow.
a huge
To raise money for Four
philanthropy.
Diamonds.
Oh, I love that. I don't think I've
Yeah.
heard of that before, but that's
It's
sounds like a
that's
great
a
cause.
huge one at
I
Penn
love
State.
that.
It's all student run. It's,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, they raised several $1 million last year. It was $13 million.
That's
At
amazing.
least every
That's amazing.
every year.
It's good to
Every
give
year.
back.
Yeah,
It's good
absolutely.
to give back. I got 3 questions.
Okay.
I ask all my guests. So we're going to have to do it times 2 today.
Okay.
All right. Ladies first. What's your favorite food?
I'd probably have to say pizza.
Pizza?
Just boring, but I
Ding,
mean,
ding, 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 ding.
yeah.
That's the best
Your mother's
answer.
meatballs?
That is
Oh,
100%.
wow, my mother's meatballs. Yeah,
Hold on
that
just-
would probably be.
Which one's it going to be?
I'd have to say pizza.
Fuck
Okay.
yeah, pizza. What food can you eat 24 hours a day, 7 days a week?
I'd probably say pizza.
Pizza. Anywhere specifically in this area is your favorite pizza spot?
Oh God, I do like our Caro and Janelle's.
I love all 4 style
Yeah.
pizza. Now, if you want some good New York style, you been to Angelo's new spot yet, Luca?
No,
West
I
Pittston?
haven't. I had when he was in Viewmont Mall. I
Right,
had it
Angelo.
there.
So he's making similar products at Luca, almost the same dough, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
I grew up with that New York
He's doing
style.
a good business, doing a good business there. Now I'm from Old Forge. I love Old Forge style pizza. But if I had to make a choice, what style of pizza am I going to eat? It'd be New York style. I just love New York style pizza, but I also love Old Forge style pizza. What would be your last meal? You're on death row.
Would
for
it be
whatever
weird
reason.
to say pizza?
No.
Because I think that might be my mother's meatballs, even though she just passed. So
Yeah.
I don't think that would ever happen. But yeah, I think
The
that
meatballs, though, would
yeah.
be the answer? I like that for your last meal. Pizza, meatballs. Joe, your turn. What would be your
gosh.
favorite
Oh
food?
gosh.
Yeah. So favorite food, I'm gonna go pizza.
I love it. You guys come back anytime.
Second question was
What food are you going to eat 24/7? Only thing you could ever eat.
again same thing. Like, geez, Louise, I don't want to be
Pizza hits all the
repetitive, but
categories.
Pizza, and then my last meal.
Your last meal.
Okay, so
You like your chocolate? I don't know.
You're on
but-
death row.
chocolate
but you're on-
brownie,
but I want a
brownies.
meal.
Oh, meal,
So
yeah.
if I'm gonna have a meal, seafood fra diavolo. So
Nice.
there used to be a restaurant.
You're going down spicy.
Oh, I'm going down all the way. There used to be a restaurant in Exeter, and it was Villa Foya, and you'd go in and you'd order that, and you go, okay, 1 to 10, scale 1 to 10, how spicy you want it?
1.
I'd be
For
like,
me, I'm a puss.
okay, so I'd be at like I say 7, 8. Okay,
Right
So,
on?
right on.
Good for you.
Yeah.
What's the highest you ever went with that?
No, I just stayed
7
7
or
or
8?
8. Come on, man. No, so
I don't like sweating when I'm eating.
Yeah.
But no,
I'd be sweating.
he'd cook it the right way, and so that'd be my last meal to go.
That'd be your last meal?
Yeah.
Any dessert with that? Maybe a Cinnabon?
Oh no,
The center?
big chocolate brownie.
I love chocolate brownies.
It's very
Little ice
specific.
cream,
with this
little ice cream
brownies.
on top.
No, I'm not an ice cream fan.
No.
So I want to ask one more travel question. Have you
Sure.
ever traveled to a place called West Hill Pretzels?
Yes,
How do you feel about West Hill Pretzels? Everybody has an enemy,
they're there.
and Annie Ann's Pretzels enemy
Yeah.
is West Hill's Pretzels.
Again,
I
like
think
you know,
it just comes down to Annie Ann's is better, but you know,
it's a
I think
different.
it's
a different look. I mean,
Are there anywhere around this area? There wasn't the mall.
They,
I mean, excuse me, there wasn't
Yeah.
the
because
casino.
Casino. The last one.
They
the
boarded,
next, the only one I
that up.
Yeah, the last one I know that still exists is in the Lehigh Valley Mall.
Okay. I'm almost certain the casino threw them out
Okay.
because now they own everything in the food court.
Oh,
Casino owns
right.
everything in the food court. They own Tony Luke's.
Okay.
They own Johnny. They own everything.
So they're the quote franchisee for that every
Franchise.
spot.
Yeah. The mall, I mean, the casino runs, they threw everyone out. They didn't renew Bar Louie's. But Bar Louie's was in financial trouble to begin with.
Okay.
I almost sure they threw them out,
Yeah.
put their own place in.
Okay.
They own everything except for Roots Chris and Rustic Kitchen. They got good food. Rustic
Oh
Kitchen.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Roots Chris has really good food.
Right. I like going to the cooking show at.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. They have some really good food. You ever guys go to Bar Pazzo?
Yes.
So John, he was on my show a few weeks ago. He's a great
Yeah,
guy.
that's good.
John DeBone.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of good things at the
That's
Ritz.
different than Pazzo.
Yeah,
They're different
Pazzo.
owners.
There's Pazzo down on 315. I
Right.
drove past it, and then there's Bar Pazzo.
Are they related?
There was. I have to go back in my mind to get the idea of the story, but yes, there is some type of relation with.
But that's the Aguilino.
Correct.
Either there is, or there was. Yeah.
But it isn't like from Agolinos in West Pittston. It's that family.
Dominic owns. I know Dominic from Annalinos. He used to be the manager of Roots Chris when I worked there.
Okay.
So, no, that's Marinacci's. That's Marinacci's, different place.
Okay.
Agolinos, that seems familiar. I'm having a little bit of a brain
Yeah,
fart with
yeah.
it, so I don't want to comment on it and be wrong. But
They're all good.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Either way.
Guys, It was an absolute pleasure meeting both of you. I'm glad both of these came on. I like having two people on here. I got two more guests coming in next.
Okay.
They own the Frogtown Chop House up in the Poconos up there in Frisco, Poconos up there. So I was just up there last week. But thank you for bringing all the food.
Thank you
I
for
know the
doing
staff
this
here
and
at Conversion.
promoting the.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime,
local
please.
people.
Anytime. I'm sure I'll stop. I'm leading up to our episode. I'm sure I'll stop by. I'll come by one of the pretzel stops when you guys are there. I'll reach out.
All right.
We could do some promotions, some pictures, put on the Food Fight page.
Sounds good.
And then we'll go from there.
All right.
Thanks again for bringing all the food. Is there anything that you want to say to the listeners before we close out?
Yeah, come and support local business.
Yes.
How's that?
Yeah.
Come and
Right.
support local business. It might be a big corporate name on there, but those a lot of the time, like we said earlier in the episode,
Yep.
a lot of them are owned by local business people that are just putting food on the table for their children.
Yep.
That's all it comes down to, and support local workers. Well, guys, thank you for coming on Food Fight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Brian DiMattei. We are in the Conversion Work Studio here at 315 in Wilkes-Barre. I want to thank all of my listeners. I want to thank all of my sponsors who help support the show and put it on the air every week. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pretzels.
Thanks.